Hello, 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 I'm Steel, and welcome to another episode of Railroads Online. So, last episode I kind of cut it short because I had originally planned to go all the way to the iron mine and then include that all in the first episode, which I did record everything for, but I of course ended up spending ages trying to do the logging run, and that made up the entire first episode. So with that, this episode might be a little weird editing wise because some of it hasn't quite gone to plan, but let's pick up right where we left off last time. Let's bring this train to a halt and then just make sure that the sawmill is actually completely full before we do anything stupid. Basically what should happen is that both of these should become exactly full to exactly 100. So we'll just need to make sure that that's the case. Let's just slow down this whole thing and save before I forget, because I don't want to lose this progress if I derail. Because goddamn, if I have to try and do this again, I'm actually just gonna cry. Alrighty, well, we've gotten our whole train loaded up, so we've got 6 cars of beams, 6 cars of lumber. Unfortunately, this is a little bit of an annoying thing because even though it's an equal number of cars, we've technically got double the number of these as we have of those, even though they're produced at an equal rate. Which means that after a couple runs of this, we will have more beams left over than we will lumber, and we'll need to empty out the beams just and sell them so that we can get this place completely emptied before refilling it with logs again. But now that I've set all the switches, it's time to head down to the smelter, and once we're down there, we're actually going to need to change over to using a different engine, because the one we've got here is high speed and stuff, but it's terrible on hills, and the route to the iron mine is uphill quite steeply the whole way. And so this train can pull maybe 4 cars, so I could pull from here to the engine at best up to the iron mine, and I would just have to do like 4 or 5 different trips to do it. But I actually have an engine down at the iron mine that I keep there specifically for pulling on that grade that is more than strong enough to pull all of these and probably all 12 hopper cars as well, so that I can just drag all this up there, load up all the hopper cars, come back down and unload them into the smelter. So let's get going. I'll probably time-lapse this operation and maybe chip in a bit to talk whenever anything spicy happens. Okie dokie, so I've shunted everything around a bit so that we've got our new hopper cars in this one, and then the other hopper cars in this lane, and then all of our wooden stuff here, and the Climax is steamed up, and I've put the other locomotive, the Eureka, away in storage here, along with Betsy. I just pushed her back and there's just enough space to fit both of them. So let's get going. I am a little bit concerned, actually, about pulling all of these carriages, mainly because you come off a steep grade and immediately go into the iron mine, and so I'm kind of worried that while I'm loading and unloading, I might have the issue of part of the train will actually be still on the hill, which will just be a problem. I think I can remedy that by coming in the other way to what I normally do though, so we'll just have a go at that. But yeah, let me just, yep, we're up to boiler pressure, so we can turn. The brakes are already off, look at that. That's not really a good idea with storing your locomotives, but sure. Yeah, this thing can't go much faster than this. It's also got a very low whistle compared to the Eureka, which is our other one, which sounds more like this. Hold on. Yeah. They're the same type of whistle, it's just that the Climax's one is a bit lower. Anyway, yeah, it's what's quite cool as well is you can actually see the crankshaft operating on this thing, and you can kind of see, like, it's not going very fast, but the piston is. That's kind of the whole deal with these, and it is what limits their top speed. is because the speed of a locomotive is kind of dictated by how fast the piston can turn. And the pistons can't really ever turn actually that fast by modern standards. They're not going at really the same paces that the crankshafts in a modern diesel engine would be going. And you can't expect them to. But yeah, it means especially on something like this, there's no chance of speed, because not only is your pistons already slow, but you're gearing them down as well. It's the steam train equivalent of a tractor is what these things are. But the other thing is you have to be careful when operating them actually, because if I put it at 100% power, it actually won't pull anything. It's actually going to pull more at less power, because at 100% power the wheels just slip like crazy because it has too much traction to move it. Like, it has so much traction that the wheels just lose their grip on the track. So that's that, and now we need to bring this all the way forwards. But you will kind of see the power of this thing is when I go like this, and we're just, like, look at that, we're just straight away pulling this 12-car loaded train, no problem. So yeah, we've got to pull all of that forwards, like right out onto the main line. Then we've got to back into these ones and couple up, pull all of that forwards and back into these ones and couple up, and then we can head out up to the iron mine, which is off in that direction somewhere. Okay, we've got the train all put together, and it is just ridiculously long. I mean, my computer's struggling a bit, but like, this is the front of the train, and the back of it is all the way over here. I mean, that's not even the back of it there. This is just 24 carriages doesn't sound like that much until you see it moving down your line, and then it's just nuts. This is, yeah, we might actually manage to max out what the Climax is able to pull with this, because even empty, the hopper carriages are quite heavy, and we've got 12 cars loaded with wood, which is surprisingly heavy. So let's just fire her up and get some more fuel. I hope we don't run out of fuel. Oh shoot, we're still in reverse. Whoa. Okay, that could have been a problem. Yeah, this is just a ridiculously long train. The other thing that's nice is that this is pretty much the Climax's top speed anyway, so it doesn't really matter if we just let it go, because we can run to catch up with it afterwards. This is huge. This is like an actual freight train in real life that we're running here, and it's also about half of all rolling stock we own on this singular train. So it'll be interesting to see if we actually have the pulling power to get it up our steep hill to the iron mine. I mean, look at this. And all of these are going to be filled with iron ore, hopefully, at the end of this. They're like that. Oh, this is so cool. I'm genuinely really excited. The game doesn't really want you to do stuff like this, and so, like, you know, I've had to use, you know, rails for the suspension cables, and this steel bridge trestle sections that I've used, that's actually a pain in the ass to do, because this steel bridge here, I can only make it in, like, each of those 3 bits is a singular section that I've had to place individually, because if you place anything longer like you normally would, it spawns in legs for itself. So this bridge just took forever, and getting everything lined up or whatever, and it's still not perfect. But man, we're actually pulling. I'm impressed that the Climax can do that. This will be really dicey on the way down though. I mean, it's always dicey on the way down, but especially this time. It'll also be cool because here we've got a hairpin turn where you can see that's my own railway track just up there. And with a train this long, I mean, oh Jesus, that's a huge train. This is actually so cool. This is so awesome. Okay, so as you can see, we're up at the iron mine with the train pulling in. I actually have another slight concern, which is that I'm kind of worried that we might not actually be able to fit all 24 cars through here. In any case, my plan is to kind of loop around this way, so that at least while I'm unloading, I'm not on the grade, though it does mean that while I'm loading the iron cars, I'll be heading downhill. But that's kind of okay, because it means I'll be able to pull crates and stuff. Oh, you can hear us struggling a little bit on this last little stretch. There's like a single, yeah, right here, there's a single rail section where it just gets really steep for no good reason. I do need to iron that out eventually. I'm sure it's fine, it'll be alright. But yeah, I'm impressed. There were a couple of times where we got some wheel slip and almost died, but I'm impressed that the Climax managed to pull as well as it did, as much as it did, up such a steep grade. And look at that, now we're on the flat, now we're pulling through. And so yeah, this is the iron mine over here. I've got a little engine shed, there's kind of nothing kept there, it's just in case, and I've got a little yard here for also just in case there's nothing really kept there. I mean, sometimes I stash these state cars at the yard up here when I don't want to bring them down the hill with me. But I reckon I'm actually just going to load the iron mine up and load up the iron ore, and then I'll call it for this episode. In any case, now that we're mostly on the flat, I reckon we have enough momentum to cut out on the speed and slow down a bit, actually, because we need to slow down to unload. Yeah, we're actually coming in too fast here. Jesus, yeah, way too fast. Way too fast. Oh no, oh no, oh no, oh no, oh no. Oh, shoot. Yep, that's beams wasted. Brakes, 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 brakes. Ooh. I think we came in with a bit too much enthusiasm. On the plus side, the whole thing can fit, evidently. But now we're gonna need to, geez, yeah, okay, the size of this train means braking is just taking forever as well. Look at that. Okie dokie, let's roll her back a bit. We just wasted a couple of beams. Oh, that's going to be a pain to deal with. Oof. How many got in there? 2. Okay, we wasted 1. That's not too bad. It's still not fantastic. It means that this is going to be slightly unbalanced because we perfectly balanced our load to fully fill the, well, not fully, but we perfectly balanced the load so that it would line up nicely with the iron mine's inputs. So the fact that we've come in too fast and wasted a beam is just going to throw things out a little bit. Hopefully we'll be okay. Let's just slowly roll back. In fact, why don't we just unload while we're rolling back? Nothing's stopping me from doing that, is there? And this way, it is all landing on there because we're going slow enough. And then we will pull back forwards again after these are all unloaded. This is going to be a bit of a process, isn't it? Because I've screwed things up, haven't I? Well, that's, at least we didn't derail horrifically with 24 cars, 12 of which were loaded, because that would have just been terrible. Also, the other thing is that the buffers here are really low, I've noticed. I've built them too low to the ground, which I need to fix eventually. But anyway, yeah, so the iron mine, it gets you deliver beams and lumber, and then it produces iron ore, which you pour out of those chutes there into the black hoppers I've got 12 of at the back there. So each of those hoppers can carry 10 iron ore. We will need 120 iron ore. I actually think we might already have that much sitting here. Let's, come on. Pull it forwards, you can do it. Let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go. We're rolling. We'll want to be friggin' careful with this. Oh, this is such a huge train. I love this. That's so cool. Okay. Okie dokie, and that's all the beams unloaded, and unloading this next part should be a little bit spicy, because by the time we're unloading the last of those lumber cars, the front of the train's actually going to be moving downhill, which on the plus side means we won't need to use any fuel to continue moving forwards. on the not so plus side, it also means that if we don't apply the brakes correctly, we will continue moving forwards, regardless of whether we actually want to be moving forwards. But in any case, let's get these all unloaded, and then we can start loading up iron, and then tomorrow we'll do a gravity run all the way back down to the smelter, maybe see about buying a new engine so we can actually drag all the iron from the smelter up to the freight depot, because the Eureka that we've got down there kind of can't do it. And while the Climax could, I'd like to keep my engines in specific regions. So for example, I prefer to keep my Climax kind of only operating in this mountainous region of the map. So the smelter, the iron mine, and eventually the coal mine when I've connected to that. But for now, that's kind of not a thing. And so I might end up buying a new engine that's faster than the Climax, but more powerful than the Eureka. So maybe there's a couple of engines that will actually, pretty much all of the later game engines fulfill those requirements. So that's fine. And here we go. Uh-oh. Have we not been... Okay, we're fine. Cool. Alright, and we just want to make sure that that gets loaded up to 120, and what we really want to make sure is that we don't roll off down the hill, because that would be especially a problem. So I will run and get the brakes on this thing and hope to God that we haven't overshot we've totally overshot it. Oh, shoot. Yeah, look at that. We're like 3 hopper cars along. And now we're going to need to push back up the hill. Cool. Honestly, I think I might actually leave it there for this episode. So, thank you very much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed this slight change of pace. Please, as always, leave any feedback or comments in the comments. If any of you have Railroads Online and want to play, I certainly wouldn't mind having someone join me and help me out with operations, because it would be very useful to have someone else at the train while I'm unloading, or vice versa, so that we don't have problems like this. Thank you so much. I will see you in the next episode.